Chapter 43. We last left the kids. They're back on boat. Nathan Collier had shown up with the submarine, and he really wants the key to the room. He's even got his apparently Ukrainian bodyguards pointing guns at Storm to get the key. So let's see how they get out of this mess. Got a lot of book left to read. Can't be the end yet. Whoa, I should've. Wait! The bodyguards thumb back the triggers on their handguns. Sorry, Bickford, said Collier. Ukrainians don't understand the word whoa. Then stop. You want them to stop? Yes, Beck yelled. And tell your sister to turn over the key to the room now. Finally, Storm moved. Actually, she sort of slouched into a shrug. Fine. Whatever, let's get this over with. Wow. Couldn't believe Storm had buckled that quickly. Then again, I wasn't the one staring down the barrels of 2 Ukrainian guns. Storm marched into the deckhouse and down into the galley, where she grabbed a meat cleaver and turned to face us. Up came the Ukrainian guns again. Chill, said Storm. I need this to retrieve the key. She picked up a puffy yellow sponge from the sink and whacked it in half. The key tumbled out with a tinkle. The room is in the bow. Follow me. When we reached the room, Storm slid the key into the steel door's deadbolt and gave it a quick flick. Go ahead, she said to Collier. Knock yourself out. Salivating like a dog that just heard somebody shout pork chops, Collier, trailed by his goons, barged into the room. And I realized why Storm had caved so quickly. All the stuff relating to artwork was gone. Even the corny cartoon about what's a Grecian urn wasn't tucked under the glass bottle anymore. Storm had removed anything and everything from the room that looked like it was, for whatever reason, important to Mum and Dad. Collier and his 2 henchmen yanked open file drawers. They flipped through folders. They even looked inside all the masks and helmets and picture frames still hanging on the walls. They kept at it for over an hour, checking and rechecking every square inch. Beck, Tommy, Storm, and I got so bored watching them trash the room, we went back to the galley and grabbed a snack. Grilled cheese sandwiches with pickles. We'd lived on the high seas long enough to know that grilled cheese is the best comfort food during a pirate raid. Finally, Collier and his Ukrainian cronies joined us. Collier's hair wasn't plastered in place anymore. He had at least 3 curls dangling over his eyes, and some of his spray-on tan was melting behind his ears. There they are, rummaging through it. He jabbed a fresh cigar into his mouth. No wonder your father jumped overboard, he said with a snide grin. He was a complete fraud. No, he wasn't. Oh, yes, he was. He had absolutely no information about the final item the Pirate King hired him to locate, even though he'd accepted a very generous retainer when he took on the task. Your father must have known his ineptitude was about to be unmasked, so he took the coward's way out and abandoned his ship, not to mention his children, in the middle of a tropical storm. Get off our boat, said Tommy. I was right there with him. Leave now. Crawl back to your submarine, Collier, added Beck. You make me want to vomit, said Storm. In your face. None of us cared about the Ukrainians or their weapons anymore. There they are, giving them grief. Nathan Collier had insulted our father. Oh, I'll leave, said Collier, because someone has to complete the job your father recklessly abandoned. I always knew he was a terrible treasure hunter. He gestured over his shoulder toward the room. Now I have proof. Collier and his gun ghouls headed out to the deck, but before we left, Collier turned around to give us one last bit of advice. And kids, if we ever meet again, I won't be nearly as pleasant as I am right now. In fact, you 4 will end up dead. I'll make sure of it. Happy sailing! Quite the way to leave it off, but I guess they tricked him, right? They got him off the ship. He didn't get any useful information. Now can we go to New York? Find out next time.